Gosh, he was such an awful person. And I gave it to her for 50 cents. Where was I in the story? Hi, welcome to Story Time, and let's just get straight into it. Let's talk about the first and only time I ever got fired from a job. So I was 16 when I got my first job. I had a friend that was older than me. She was 2 years older than me, and she was working at a Japanese bakery that was about 25 minutes from my house. So, my freshman year of high school, I decided that I was going to go to culinary school. And so, this friend knew that I was really interested in going to culinary school. So, she had told me that she was working at a Japanese bakery and that they were hiring, and if I wanted to start working there. And this wasn't like a baking job. I think, especially because I was under 18, it was just a sales, the cashier position at this job. So I was super excited and I got hired. And the owner was the stingiest person I had ever worked with in my entire life. I remember, like, even when we had leftover baked goods at the end of the day, he made us throw all of it away. He didn't let anybody take it. There was no employee discount. He was so unhappy. I have no idea why, but that was kind of my first experience at having a job. But I thought, okay, at least this will be kind of my introduction of seeing what this kind of career path could look like. And so I had worked there for, I think, a couple of months. And the bakery was inside of a market. So there was also a Sushi Boy, which is a sushi restaurant chain or sushi fast food chain in the US. I don't know if it exists anymore because this was, oh my God, this was, how long ago was this? Was like 17 years ago? 18 years ago? Yeah, no. 17 years ago. 17 years ago. So I, where was I in the story? Oh, so I made friends with the girl next door, and she had, when I ordered food from them, she always gave me a discount, and she always put some like extra little bits of food inside of whatever I ordered. One day, she had come to the bakery and she was ordering stuff. And I think she had ordered like $4 worth of stuff. And I gave it to her for 50 cents. And in retrospect, was that the best idea? Absolutely not. But at the time, I was like, oh, she's given me a discount. I want to be able to give her a discount. So I gave her the discount. My manager the owner was right behind me. Not right behind me, but I think he wasn't paying attention and then he started paying attention. So I took the receipt after she paid and I threw it away in the trash. And prior to then, I had bought stuff from the bakery, but also put stuff in for myself on the side. And the reason why I did that is because of like how stingy he was about it. And I was 16, I was so immature. I wouldn't do that now. I don't know, maybe I would do it now, who knows. But I was just really upset that he made us throw away so much bread at the end of the shift, and it always made no sense to me. So in the middle of that shift, he calls me over and I see the receipt in his hand. And I was like, oh my God, he dug through the trash and pulled the receipt out. And I'm not saying that what I did was okay or right by any means, but I was thinking like, wow, he really, he went through the trash. And so he called the manager over at Sushi Boy and had my friend come over and basically confirm that I had given her the baked goods at a discounted price. And I said that I was so sorry, and she said that she was sorry. And the Sushi Boy manager was kind of like, like it's like not okay, but it's also not a huge deal. Like, don't do it again, right? And I was like, yeah, definitely. So at the end of my shift, my manager came over to me and he said, and I think I still remember this verbatim. He said, "Today's your last day. Don't come in anymore." And I was so upset because I was 16. It was my first job. I was really upset. Mainly, I was upset because at the time I had just learned about my family's financial situation. So, a big part of the reason why I wanted to get the job was because I wanted to be able to help out. When I was fired, I was like, oh my God. And I started crying. I was so upset. And I walked over to I walked over to my friend's job, and she said that she was so sorry. And I was like, no, no, it's not your fault. And at the time, I wasn't driving yet. So my dad had picked me up from work. Or was it my mom? It was somebody. Somebody picked me up from work, and I was crying profusely, and I was just apologizing. I kept saying how sorry I was, and they kind of whichever parent it was, I can't remember who picked me up, but they kind of just like laughed, and they're like, no, like, that's okay, it's a lesson that you learned now, you don't need to cry about it, it's okay, right? Because I cried and I said how sorry I was for losing the job, and now I got the job because I wanted to help out financially, and I wasn't able to help out anymore, even though at the time, I mean, how much could I have actually helped with my job? I was getting minimum wage. I think I was working part-time, so I think it was like 2, maybe 3 times a week. And so yeah, that's the story of that's how I got fired from my first job. It's kind of funny when I think about it now. I still do think like this was a very, at a young age, this was a very like reality check situation for me. Like, this is the real world. You can't make up your own rules and just do whatever you want. But to be honest, I don't know that much has changed. Not, I mean, not that I was like constantly stealing from all the jobs that I had worked in, but yeah, I still agree with whatever parent picked me up that day. Thank you, Oma or Appa, for yeah, not making me feel so so guilty about something that I, you know, made a mistake in. But gosh, he was such an awful person, this manager. I sometimes I wonder what happened to him. I don't think the bakery is owned by the same person. It was such a long time ago, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story time. I'm definitely going to keep adding stories of kind of just life experiences and a lot of experiences that I've had in the culinary world. But I will see you in the next story time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.